In August 2024, a bombshell video was leaked to the Israeli press. News sources across the country were reporting that a serious incident of sexual abuse took place inside Teiman, a maximum security Israeli prison that houses many inmates who participated in the horrific October 7th attacks. The leak was highly controversial as it happened during an ongoing IDF investigation in which the video was supposed to be treated as highly classified information. This footage was played on many Israeli news outlets and has been widely circulated throughout the world since its publication. In late 2025, it emerged that a senior IDF legal official, Major General Ifat Tomer Yerushalmi, admitted to authorizing the release of the video and later resigned amid investigation into her actions. Unsurprisingly, this video has been used by Israel's enemies to further smear the reputation of the Jewish state. Very surprisingly, there has been little to no news coverage on this issue in pro-Israel English-speaking media. In an exclusive, first-of-its-kind interview, we sat down with Gimel, one of the commanders of Unit 100, the unit involved in this controversy, to get his side of the story straight from the source.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Jewish Dawah. I'm Inon Kehati, and today we have an exclusive interview with one of the soldiers from Force 100 that was part of the conspiracy in Teiman, the allegedly rape charges against the IDF. And today I have with me Talia, who is back from the USA, back home to Israel. How you doing, Talia?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Baruch Hashem, Yishtabach Shemo. I would say also Alhamdulillah, but in days like these, we will not say Alhamdulillah too much, so I will not say Alhamdulillah.
Okay, but I will say Alhamdulillah.
Yes. And we have Baruch Haba, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Basically, didn't have a lot of chance and opportunity to say his version of the events of what happened in Teiman to the public media, especially in the world media. And also in the Israeli media. I think it was relatively very shallow, and obviously because it was in certain channels, you didn't have enough airtime to explain your point of view. So without further ado, please introduce yourself and let us know who you are, where are you coming from?
Okay, I'm almost 50. I live in the south of Israel, near the border of Gaza. I'm a married man, I have 2 kids. Before the war, I had a great job, and then the war started, so we were dedicated to the war and to do what we need to do for our country. Most of my life, I did a lot of security for the state of Israel, in Israel, and I was in a counter-terror unit in Israel as well. And after that, we started doing our business, and then the war started, everything stopped, and now we're going back. But it was history for us to be in this war. Most of that was in Gaza for 1.5 years.
You're basically living in Sderot, just next to Gaza.
Yes, exactly.
So you experience all the conflict with Gaza all through the years.
Yeah, I live in Sderot in the last 6 years. And yeah, missiles, it was a routine for us. Basically every week. If they wanted, they shoot the missiles. You don't have anything to tell you they're going to shoot it now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're with your kids in the middle of the street, you have to run for the bomb shelter and everything. Until October 7th, this was a day that changed, I think, everybody's life. But especially if you are there in that morning, is something else.
Can you tell us a little bit about your experience during October 7th, living in Sderot, so close to the border with Gaza?
Yeah. I had my kids at home. I'm divorced or remarried. My kids were with me, and I'm sorry. Usually, I don't wake up in the morning from rockets, from the siren. That morning, I jump out from the bed, took my wife to the bomb shelter. I told her that I think, we did something, or we kidnapped something, or we killed one of the terrorists. Or they kidnapped a soldier, because it was very heavy missiles all the time. And
more than usual.
Yes, of course, more than usual. Exactly. And when there was a little break, so I went to the balcony and I heard the gunshots, but I didn't connect the gunshots from my city. I was thinking, how can I hear it so close from Gaza? I hear it now very close. I got a phone call from a friend. He told me, so I was a little bit sick. He told me, are you home? I say, yeah. Why? He said, listen, you have terrorists in your town now. I say, no, come on, bullshit. I don't believe it. When I saw the video when they shot in the police car, and then we start talking on the WhatsApp and everything, I realized that this is real. And now you have to do what you're trained to do all your life. I really believe in that, by the way, that it was the exact place for me to be there with my kids. I went down to my Jeep, started driving, took my pistol. I had 7 magazines. All the time, put it inside the house if something bad will happen. And when I got to the main square, I was stopped with I was shocked because all the bodies that I saw in the road. And I cannot forget the bodies of the old people that were in the bus station. They went for a tour, some trip in the Dead Sea. They got stuck in Sderot and they all were dead. Everybody that I pick up is dead. You pick up, throw it, pick up, throw it. And you see bodies inside cars. Kill zone. And then I went to the then I went to the police station. And then there were a lot of civilian, a little bit of police. Everybody was shooting. Chaos. Bodies on the street. People are injured. They go out. You're helping the injured. You do what you can do. I have kids at home, back home. I forgot about my kids. Forgot about everything. I got back at noon. I didn't realize there was something bigger. So when I saw it's a little bit under control, I got back, took my kids, took my wife, and at noon, at Saturday noon, to Tel Aviv, got to my unit, took a rifle, and only a morning after they let us go to the kibbutz near the border.
All the Gaza envelope. It was a scene of chaos, complete destruction.
Bodies on the street, rocket launchers on the street, grenades on the street, a tank is on the street next to you. If you need to shoot with a tank, it's on WhatsApp. Things that you don't believe that you can do.
Can I ask you a question, actually? Because obviously on October 7th, we were all here. There was I feel like probably like 5 or 6 hours where we were still trying to understand what is actually happening. So how do you go from, I have my wife and 2 kids right now that I need to keep safe, but also because of my experience in, the military, my background, all of that with security, I also need to act. I need to, go and fight, a situation that does not necessarily know what you're going into. So how was that kind of like this conflict of, should I stay? Should I go? What am I going to do?
No conflict. No conflict at all. I took my weapon, took everything. I got my uniform. I had an old vest that I found in the closet. I took it. It's a CrossFit vest, not a military vest, but I have small plates, so I put it on. I didn't have a helmet, so I have my. You have like a police cap that you put it on if you have a terror attack. It's a yellow one. I put it on so nobody will shoot me. And my wife was at the door, said, where are you going? I say, I'm going down. I say, why? I say, because people are getting killed. I say, but you can go. Maybe you will get killed. I say, if God wants. But it's my duty now to go down.
So no questions, you just go and act.
I was upset at her a little bit because it was like 20 minutes. She didn't let me go. But in that 20 minutes, she saved my life, because if I was going earlier, all these junctions were full of terrorists. They did ambush on the cars. Every car that was in that junction inside the city, gone.
It was a big death trap over there.
Everywhere.
And we were outnumbered too. There were so many terrorists over there that they knew what they're doing. They didn't come without plans.
No, they knew exactly where to go. They had car over there, stop the traffic, car over there, start the traffic. And the police station was over here. They knew exactly where they were going, who to kill first. They had maps with address of colonels in the city, the address of each colonel in the army, reserve or not. They knew exactly what they're doing. They were very, sorry, I said very talented, the first wave. They knew exactly where to go.
Did you know anybody? Obviously, we know Sderot. You living in Sderot, there were terrorists in Sderot. So, did you know anybody that was hurt? Like,
No, in Zerot, no.
No,
But
they
I got a friend from the unit. He died in Be'eri at the October 7 at night near the Yardena kindergarten. His name is Itai Yeshua, Ranger Itai Yeshua. Another guy was a trainee of mine. I do the training for the border security, the civil ones. For like 10 years, I was a trainer. One of them was in Ofakim. He ran down without a weapon, without nothing, only with a knife, shot dead. Another one, he was the brother of another trainee of mine, again in Ofakim, had a pistol, went down, shot dead. What can you do?
That's war.
It's war. Yeah.
That's war. But okay, so eventually, after you are recruited to serve in Sde Teiman in the beginning of the war, in the middle of the war.
No, in the beginning of the war, I was in Gaza. From the first wave, not wave, the first entry. It was in the late October, start of November. So we were the team that was all the command center of the general. So all the time in Gaza, inside with him. And when we got out, it was March 2024. We had time, and Sde Teiman, the guys over there, contact me, told me, listen, we have a unit over here that is doing 1, 2, 3. Maybe you can come and help. Start doing things for the unit, start doing the training and everything. And the unit, it's Force 100. It's a small unit, not so big. Everybody in the unit are reservists. It's not a unit now in the army, and you volunteer for that unit. Nobody tell you to come over there. And the main job of the unit is to be intervention unit in an all-scale event inside prisons in Sde Teiman. And when I say prison, I mean...
It's a temporary prison. It's not designed to be a prison.
But almost 2,000 terrorists.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over there.
It's a large scale of terrorists and people that we take from Gaza after they were either combating us or doing terrorist attacks.
And you have the October 7 terrorists as well.
Right.
The Nukhbot.
Would you say that, like, from all the people that you had, all the prisoners, how many of them you think participated in October 7th?
Maybe more than 700, I think.
More than 700?
Yeah.
So, a lot of them?
Yeah, a lot.
Probably not sympathetic type of people.
No one loves you over there, of course.
Yeah.
And you know that terrorists inside, or the investigators, terrorists, they brought them from Gaza, but for us, everybody is a terrorist. If he's inside in this prison, in this military prison, so he's a terrorist. And with terrorists, you have to deal like you deal with terrorists. You cannot deal them like you play in the park. Because in the park, nobody will beat you, nobody will want to kill you maybe. This is not a walk in the park, this is something else. And if you compare it to other states like the United States and a lot of states in Europe that are very democratic about their
human rights
behavior, and come on. In America, if you're a terrorist and you go to prison, you don't see the day of light until you're dead. You're going to be underground, 7 floors underground. You only see fluorescent lights, and that's it. And maybe you get 3 meals a day of something small, no TV, no nothing.
Well, let's be honest, they don't deserve more, right? But, you know.
And over here, they got everything. The terrorists that were in Sde Teiman, 3 meals a day. Morning, noon, dinner.
This is interesting because there's allegations against Israel that we are starving the prisoners that we have, the terrorists that are in our jails, even though they have 3 meals a day. But before the war, their conditions, I mean, you as someone that had direct contact with them even before the war, can you tell the audience a little bit about what were the conditions before and what are the conditions now?
Before the war, I was in my unit in the counter-terrorist of the prison service between 2003 2008. It was in the middle of the second intifada. So that time you have like 15,000 inmates inside prisons, all prisons. 5,000 of them were terrorists. So if you take all the population and 5,000 were terrorists.
Inmates, by the way, sorry to interrupt, you talk about people like Sinwar and the terrorists that did the heaviest.
No. I'm talking about inmates total in Israel, criminals, Jews, not
okay.
Jews. 15,000. 5,000 only are terrorists, so it's a lot. It's like a third of the population inside the prison service. The terrorists, of course, Sinwar, the Barghouti, Mustafa, Muhammad Barghouti.
You got to encounter with them directly.
Yes, of course. We saw them all the time. And we want to encounter with them, of course. They are not the Lord of the prisons. We are the Lord of the prisons. They are under our responsibility, so they do what we want, not what they want.
So what were their conditions before the war?
Oh, they have like the state paid them for university, for bachelor degree, master degree, professor, everything.
They had bakeries in the.
They have bakeries.
Right?
They have like they call it cantina. It's like the small supermarket of them. The things that you don't eat at home, they have inside the prisons. They had like a shawish. They want to talk for them, all the time. He's in charge.
Spokesperson.
Yeah, but who the hell are you? You're a terrorist. Go sit down. We don't recognize you. They all the time threat that they're going to do something if something will happen. So because of that, they established Masada unit. So this was my unit in 2003. And the first encounter with them that we had, it was in a prison in the south. And that time we knew from the Israeli Security Service that they have a lot of cell phones inside this cell. And from that specific cell, a lot of terror attacks are happening in Israel. And we went to the prison director from that jail, and we told him, listen, we're going to come at noon. Say, no, nobody come at noon. Say, why? My commander told him, why that? Say, we used to do it only in the morning or only in the evening. But we told them, listen, so in the morning, they don't going to speak on the phone. In the evening, they don't speak on the phone. They know when you are coming. This is how we do it. So we say, okay, so you're going to move back, and we're going to do it in our time. A little bit of discussion. He got a phone call. Everything okay. He moved back. And we entered at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we have to crawl down underneath other cells to get to this specific cell in the end. And you hear a lot of TV, a lot of radio, dancing. Wow. It's the first time for me in the prison, inside a maximum security prison. They're living the life, We got to that cell, opened the door, immediately when we opened the door. When we opened the door, that was number 2. It's like a moment of the world is stopping. You with the weapon like that, and the weapon, of course, it's non-lethal ammunition inside the prison. So if you shoot them, they're not going to die, but we will injure them. Still, they have rights because they are prisoners. And you see them on the phone. I see people in my eye on the phone, and they look like that. I'm looking at them, they're looking at me. Start doing all this bullshit of the Allah Akbar and start throwing things. No problem. For us, it's good. We just go in as aggressive as we can. And this was the first time that a little bit changed the mindset that somebody's in charge now.
I think it's funny, the difference in perception of how, before the war, right? Because obviously October 7th brought more headlines to, Israeli prisons and even talking about, Israel and Palestine. After the war, people are talking about it more. But before, people would still say that we're treating them poorly in prisons and that, they get basically no food and no water. And I would say so many photos, will probably agree with me, of them making pitas and having baklawas and having parties in prison. Photos that when I would see them as an Israeli citizen, they'll boil my blood. Because to me, why would a person who killed people or even attempted to kill people need to live such lavish life, especially if he's in prison? But you know what you're describing right now, that there is a shift. I think it's a healthy shift. That's how you should treat, prisoners. It's not, it's not a hotel, right?
You can see how they treat our prisoners. So I think we are doing a very good job with them. So
Yeah.
I'm not a politician, but
Well,
we can do more.
They say we starve them, and then when they come, when we do release those prisoners, does any of them look starved to you? Does any of them look like Eviatar ben David to you?
Unless they do a hunger strike.
Yeah, but even then, they're not disciplined enough, I think, to actually look like Eviatar ben David. They'll maybe lose a few pounds.
And one of their tools of weapon to pressure on us is to make a coordinated hunger strike. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, we had an incident in 2005 or 6, I don't remember exactly, with Marwan Barghouti. There was a big hunger strike, and the prison service knew that they were going to start. They started, and they were going to do a lot of effect on all the world because hunger strike, they're going to die, and all this bullshit. And they got a tip that he's eating, not snacks, eating. We got there it was Friday morning, and we took him out from the cell by this way and another. We put a little camera on the window. It was very fast, so we didn't have time to prepare. So we put a lot of how do you call it?
Grass?
Grass in front of the floor and
Or
everything.
leaves?
Yeah, seeds.
Or leaves, just to hide the camera. And it was a wall, and the wall was like that. I was hiding behind the wall with my friend. And with the camera like that, it was an old video camera that you have to record it. No cell phones, no nothing. And he got inside, they put him the dinner and everything. He said, no, I'm not eating. Okay. When the prison guard went, so he put a lot of papers on the door.
On the
so
door.
Nobody will see him. On the door, yeah, not on the window, on the door. And we saw him took the rice, eating like that. Like he didn't eat for weeks. And the chicken, and after that, he's going to the sink, put water, glug, 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 and spit it out. And I was saying, wow, fuck, he's eating. And my friend said, the camera is working. I said, I hope so, After that, we saw it on the news a day later, and the hunger strike stopped immediately, of course, because he was the head. So I think it's all bullshit what they're doing. It's like they're trying to get the world attention.
Right.
That's it.
And speaking about the world attention, now we get to the main issue. The world is accusing us, I say, you are us, all of us, in criminal charges of war crimes against prisoners. Can you tell us about what happened there?
Yes, of course. First of all, if you talk about this specific incident that happened in July 2024, we use first on this terrorist, of course. But to say...
Who was this terrorist, by the way?
He was a platoon commander from Jabalia city in Gaza.
Hamas platoon commander.
Hamas Nukhba platoon commander, yes.
We're talking about the allegations of Teiman, the famous incident from Teiman that caused the world to point a finger on us as war criminals.
The rapist.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The rapist and abusing prisoners of war. Yeah, we have to say that. Not terrorists, prisoners of war.
More than that, political prisoners.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So, quote unquote, political prisoners.
I will say, before you even start telling us, your side of the story, at the end of the day, there's the actual, proof right on the ground. And for whoever watched the actual video, not the video that was censored, it's very clear that no rape was taking place, right? You were standing down, and he was completely flat on the ground. It's very clear that there was no rape, but the video that is now being used online is the version of the video that is, first of all, snaps from different days, kind of, combined together, but also blurring what happened behind that cover to make it look like something was happening. But from your perspective, I think we want to hear what really happened on that day, and how accurate do you think the video that is being circulated online is to what actually happened on the ground?
First of all, I was the chief instructor of the unit. When I came there, I was the chief instructor for 6 months. So immediately when I came, we start building all the routine and emergency training for the unit. So what they do in emergency, what they do in routine. And building some contact that they have, some discipline, everything to combine it together for a force that can deal with these terrorists. So we did the training, and they did it every day. They have to go inside this Teiman. We call it like a big dog yard, because it's a big hangar, and you have over there like between 60 to 100 terrorists. We have 4 of that, and double it by 4. Okay, so you have like 1,000 plus in the middle of the war. So these guys, the Force 100, have to go inside every time and deal with these people. On that day in July 24, the command of the prison, it's army prison, so the commander told the guys Friday night, middle of the night, guys have to come over here. There's a one terrorist, making problems. Have to take him out. Everything, of course, you have a book. You write everything over there in the command center. When the guys go in, when the guys go out, why they go in, why they go out. So the guys went over there. 10 guys, 80 terrorists. This is the
ratio.
The ratio, exactly. Go inside, take this guy. You have to search him. Of course, because in a military prison, if you take it, compare it to the prison service, it's different, because they don't know the routine, they don't know the emergency, they don't know what to do. Everybody is a reservist, and you have the military police. They don't know how to deal with these people. And they build this prison, and you can go over there and you find nails, you find barbed wires, you find a lot of things
that they hide.
Yeah, and that can be a weapon. Okay, everything inside the prison has to be flat, very flat, so you don't see anything bad. You have to stick them to the ground. A lot of things. This is what's not in the first. So you have to search these people. So if they don't have weapon on them, that specific terrorist refuse to do search. If you are refused to do what you are told inside the prison, there is
consequences.
Exactly.
It's like every other prison in the world.
Yeah.
Before you actually continue, can you tell us, did you ever do a search on somebody and found something that,
Yes, of course.
like what, for example? Something that could have nails.
Yeah, nails. They put it together. I will send you some photos. I will find it. You can put it, what we find inside the prisons. You can be, wow, amazing. In the first time, they brought them tuna cans, You can take the tuna, smash it, and you have a good knife. You can stab everybody inside. But it's something big. But the small things that you're not supposed to find, you find them, and you see they are preparing all the time. They hate us. They don't want us, of course. So if they're going to have a chance and they're going to know nobody will release them, they're going to kill us. They're going to try to kill us. And when they're going to try to do it, we have to act by force. And this guy, this terrorist, refused to do search. And he's starting to move from side to side, started doing problems. And yes, of course, we use force on him. My guys, these 5 guys, use force on him. Of course, take him to the ground, put his knee on the head, on his back, everything, start searching him with handcuffs, of course. All these Saudi Arabia are looking, and they are observing, and they are seeing what we are doing. And if you're going to act like a pussycat, or like a small rat or a small mouse, the day after, something bad will happen. You have to come with aggressive, a lot of aggressive. And it's not something that is different from other countries.
So the only thing, so when we're watching the video, right, again, if I was not an Israeli or somebody with an actual functional brain that watched the video uncensored and can see that nothing, obviously, yeah, you can see that there's use of force, but you clearly see there's no rape going on. But tell us what happened, behind what the camera could see, because there was a part in the video also that you guys used your shields and you put them up. It almost looked like you're trying to hide something. Explain to us again what really happened there, that we didn't see maybe on the video.
Yeah, first of all, the shields, that you put the shields up. So you are doing like, you're in the middle between the other operators, the warriors, and the terrorists. If something happens, we have to block them. We have to block them so they don't hurt us, and then we can go back, go out, prepare, and go inside again, because you're 10 against 80.
So it's to protect yourself, basically.
But when you say the camera, what camera are you talking about?
Obviously the footage that was leaked.
What about the cameras in the back?
Good question.
Yeah. So it's a prison, so we have cameras all over. Why do you see only one point of view of the camera? What do you see in this point of view of the camera? You see someone on the ground, yeah, of course. You see the dog in the side, yeah, you see the dog. You see people are on him, yeah? Okay, what is the problem?
So you raise a really good point right now, right? We only see one point of view, very intentional point of view, and we'll talk about, about that a little bit later. But will the rest of the footage be released? Because obviously everything is cameras. Will we see the rest of the footage at some point, do you think?
First of all, there's still trial against my guy. So we are waiting for the end of this month to see what the new prosecutor will tell and decide what he's going to want, to dismiss this case or continue. But again, we have to tell you, we cannot tell everything. We cannot tell everything that they don't want to tell. They, I mean, the prosecution, all of these lawyers and everybody over there on the other side. But when everything will be released, it's unbelievable what you're going to see, what you're going to know, what they hide a little. Amazing things that you can see in the end. No rape, no stabbing in the back, 4 centimeters from his rectum. No, nobody stabbed him. Nobody tasered him. Nobody put what the guy said. I saw it on the news. I didn't know about it, but nobody put a baton inside his mouth and did something with that. I don't know why they made it up, because you will see everything, and when the people will see the other cameras, they will understand that everything was bullshit. Besides, use of force is legal, by the way, and it's legal because in the army you have to do everything, you have to write, and the commander have to sign, and his commander have to sign on that paper as well. Everybody signed on that.
I will add, not only legal but also necessary.
Of course. And after you finish this, every event that you have with the terrorist, you fill a report, and the commander is signing. So there was a report. He signed. Use of force. Yes, of course. On the ground. When they left, he was okay. It was okay. After 2 hours, something very bad happened, and all this bullshit was on the news.
So yeah, that's actually, I think that's the biggest question mark of it all, because obviously you and your guys, you've been giving your whole life, right, to Israel, and you're doing so much. How does it feel knowing that at the end of the day you were kind of betrayed by the system that you were protecting? Those videos were leaked, and they were leaked in a way that made you look some type of way that was not reflecting reality.
How do you feel after everything that you described, that especially these videos and all of these allegations against you were leaked by none other than the military that you serve under? Our military establishment, or more to say the military,
The Attorney General of the military.
First of all, we knew from the start that they came to arrest the guys. That everything is a big fake, and they are doing something that they're not supposed to do. And they were in jail for 1.5 months. These 5 guys. And before I'm going to answer this question, but you have to know that immediately they put a stamp on them that are all right-wing activists, that their dream is to kill the Arabs. No. You have people from Tel Aviv. You have people from the south, like me. You have people from Judea, Samaria. Yeah, of course. It's part of Israel. You have Arabs. You have Muslim. You have Druze. Okay, Christian we don't have, but if we're going to have, more than welcome. It's a big...
diverse unit.
Exactly, of the Israel, of all of Israel. So it's not people came over there because, okay, there's terrorists inside and we're going to do something bad.
Or maybe because they are Arabs or Muslims, because they are terrorists, not because they are certain religion or certain people.
No, only terrorists. So all the guys are from all the background. And when that happened, and when we saw the video, immediately when you saw the video, I saw it on the news, say, okay. I mean, you see they're cutting the video, you see they put one from a different incident a week before and this incident. Why? Put this incident, show what you want to show. Let the people understand what they're seeing. Don't tell the people what they're seeing.
I will add also that it's very, very important to mention here that the DA of the army about a month ago was basically investigated under warning because she did something foul regarding that incident.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And she did it for a lot of reasons. First of all, she armed, she stabbed every soldier in the army, not just Force 100. Every soldier, because in Gaza, if they want to shoot, no, will they put me in jail or not? Or this woman,
Of course, the IDF works under very, very strict rules of war.
Yes, of course, but
there's legal attorneys that follow every decision and move the army.
Of course,
and I think just to that real quick, the fact that they even were in jail for a month and a half, even though the allegations are fake, just shows how different we are than our enemies. Because if that was actually true, the fact that we arrested them shows that we are following the law.
I will also add, after I want to allow you to continue and finalize the point, but there's also a reason why she did that, and we're gonna get to that a little bit later. But yeah, continue, please.
But what she did for all the military to stab, especially for the 5 guys that were in jail for 1.5 months. Oh, sorry, guys with families, with kids. You have teachers over there. You have guys that work, as an inspector in the רשות הטבע והגנים.
Yeah, the Nature and Parks Authority.
Yeah, and regular. Well, sorry. Yeah,
we're talking about normal people with families, with children, with careers.
Israelis, Jews, non-Jews.
Yeah, not
that love the country.
Yeah, we're not talking about a certain even specific part of the Israeli society. We're talking about all
very
parts.
diverse.
Yeah, and again, for this unit, you volunteer. Nobody forced you to come over there. For Force 100, you volunteer to go over there. So these people came to work with these things that are in jail that nobody want to work with them. Nobody want to touch these animals. Nobody want to search them. Nobody want to see them, because when you see them, you see the evil. You see the evil in front of you. No civilians, no innocent. No, nothing. Only terrorists. Everybody that came over there related to terror. Oh, his cousin was a terrorist. His mother is a terrorist. His father is a terrorist. Somebody is a terrorist. So he's a terrorist, of course.
People that have clear intentions to kill our women and children.
Yeah, and to do October 7th again.
Yeah, for sure.
We're saying they killed Muslims on October 7th as well.
Also,
they killed 100%. Anybody who was in front of them. So we did want to make sure that everybody understand. You're not just talking about, all Palestinians as a whole. It's just specifically, in this prison.
I don't have a problem with people that don't want to kill me. People that want to kill me, I have a problem with that.
Fair enough.
These people inside prison, they want to kill me, so they have a problem.
Speaking about that, how did you view the, let's say, chances for peace before the war? Did you believe in peace?
No. Never.
Mm.
I never believe in peace. I believe that we can live, maybe side by side, but not peace, not agreements. No, it's only paper. They don't stick to this. What do you need peace for?
Definitely not the peace that we are offered to have, the two-state solution, and to give up a part of our land.
No, nothing. And before the war, was very right. In the war, was very, very, very right, because when we went inside Gaza and inside the schools, and we saw Mein Kampf, and we saw how to kill Jews, and a lot of things that they have inside schools, and in underneath the baby's bed, you have rocket launchers. So I don't think peace is up there. I don't think no peace with these people, and especially the terrorists. They want to kill you.
I hear you. I believe in peace one day, but it's not going to be definitely not now, and most likely not in the near visible future, but maybe one day.
Well, peace is the absence of threat, the way I see it, and we still very much have threat. So I can totally see that. Can we go back real quick just to this, the Teiman? So the prisoner that allegedly was sexually assaulted, he was then released.
He got released a month? Not more than 2 months ago.
Do you think it was intentional?
Yes, of course. Before she got arrested, the week before, he got released. Now, okay, if the main witness is not here, so what do you want? If the main witness is saying that somebody raped him, so put him inside a room with the rapist.
And I find it also very weird that they are releasing a platoon commander back to Gaza, especially someone that is a key witness in a very, very controversial, allegation.
Yeah.
So maybe it's all fake and nothing happens.
No, it's like Candace Owens, we're just out here asking questions. You know what I mean? We're just asking questions. Just seem very curious that the same person that can, say what's really happened there.
Seriously, I think that one of the reasons why they leaked this video and this whole thing got exploded in public is because there is a term that the United States cannot give military assistance to a country if that country is being accused or proven to be committing war crimes and raping prisoners. So that fake was done intentionally by the DA, the district attorney of the army, in order to stop the war.
Yeah, this is what they're saying.
That's most likely what happened.
I think 100% she's related to this kind of organization.
I'm sorry to cut you, and more than that, to publish it intentionally in the top news in Israel.
In times of war.
In times of war. And, with the edited video, linking and indicating, especially on that thing, that was the intention.
And then she's going missing, and her phone is lost, and there was just a whole
And she published
spectacle.
it with only one reporter at start, one main reporter. They made unbelievable damage to the state of Israel.
100%. And look also about the Israeli society, how much, we are too much plural with the freedom of speech and the freedom of press and all that, that even some of us
hurting us.
us.
And the thing is, let's put it on the table. If it actually happened, obviously, that's not something that should happen. There should be, due process. They should have, go to jail. But it did not happen. It's very clear that it did not happen, even from the video that was leaked. That's why, we're doing hasbara, right? We're talking to these people. We're combating those allegations outside of Israel. And the video that was circulated was blurred because when a regular person just watched the video not blurred, he can see that nothing really happened. So they gave us, this DA, she made our job so much harder.
She gave our enemies a lot of ammo.
And a lot of ammo.
A lot of ammo.
Yeah. So obviously, the fact that this information was released by the DA, it's problematic by itself because, we do process, the case is still ongoing. We still don't have all the information out there. So for her to release the video as if it's, completely done deal, they were proven guilty, putting you guys at risk, also to the international media, exploiting you in this way, before we actually even know what happened, coming from her specifically. Do you feel like you were betrayed by the system that, again, you gave so much life to and, dedicated your life to?
Of course, because you cannot, in the middle of the trial, the accusers accuse this soldier more by taking the press, taking the minds of the population and everything, and start pointing them to one thing. You cannot do that. These guys are innocent until they prove something else, until they're proved guilty. They are innocent until they're proved guilty. People don't understand it. If there is a trial, we hope not, but if yes, we hope it's going to be very clear and very open, because now what happened in the end, besides being betrayed, you can see all this tower of cards is starting to go down. Who can blame these people now? Who? The head of the prosecution? She was in jail. Who? The deputy? He's also lying. Who? The prosecutor? He's lying as well. Everybody are liars. So it's not just a betrayed from the system. It's like something pointing to these 5 guys to blame everything on their shoulders. And last week we were in Sderot in the Mechina, and we light a candle. And the rabbi over there said to the guys, listen, there's a story. You guys are taking on your back all the problem of the Jewish people. God chose you guys to take this problem in the end to win. And we really believe they're going to win in the end. After everything they've done to them, all the press, all the world, all these channels that only talk about one side. Only one side. I was talking to this channel and told them, listen, I can come. I'm willing to come, but in live, and give me this reporter as well. I will answer the question, but only in live. Nobody got back to me, of course. And I don't know why. I asked him, do you want to know the truth? All these army reporters that the soldiers are very, very connected to their house. I'm saying that like that, yeah? And nobody gives a shit.
So why do you think that is? Like, why do you think she did it?
Why she did it? First of all, to stop the war. And during that, hurting the soldiers, each soldier. Not just Force 100. We say it all the time. Tomorrow it can be your son, your sister, your brother. But why she didn't leak other videos? Why she didn't leak the videos that the terrorists masturbate in front of the soldiers? Why not? It's not important? Oh, probably not. Why she didn't leak the video that one terrorist took one prison guard, a lady, and take her to the fence like that and almost killed her? Why she didn't leak that? If she gonna leak something, leak everything. Everything. And we knew what happened inside. We were there every day. I hope one time she's gonna be in this prison as well. I'm gonna give her a tour, and I can say, you can go by your own in this yard. Nobody will hurt you.
Yeah.
Let's see how she deal with that. But it's very, very painful, especially for the guys. Really, they got kicked out from the army. They cannot be in the reserve now because they are in trial. Guilty, not guilty. They kicked them out.
What a loss to the army.
Of course.
What a loss to the army because of this.
Most of them, madam, all of them were in Gaza before Force 100. So they finished Gaza and they said, let's do something else for the state of Israel, for the military. The military don't know how to treat these terrorists again. They don't know the routine, they don't know nothing. So they build this force for something. No equipment, we brought everything from outside. A lot of things we brought from good Jews that help this unit. Because when you go inside, you have to look top. You have to look that you know what you're doing, that you come with a purpose, and nobody can touch you. And looking like a tough soldier is something that is working. They did everything and again, to touch these animals, you have to be, with yourself very, very strong. You have a lot of guys that are in treatment, psychological treatment. You cannot deal with everything. People cannot deal with everything over there in the prison. You see these people that, they butchered, rape, put children in the oven.
This is why it's hard for me to term animals, because animals don't act this way.
Exactly.
Animals don't do that. You know what I mean? They don't kill for pleasure.
It's like a good word to say them animals, but cannot say something else. I don't know. Nazis, of course, but nothing in the history can compare for that.
But I would say they're very much, I think it's important to say they are humans and not animals, because again, animals don't act this way. I think, at least when I'm talking to people outside of the world, those are human beings that they chose to do what they did. They could, when they came on October 7th, take land. They could have go just to the military bases. They could have tried to occupy, take back their homeland, take back Palestine. They could have tried doing that. But what did they do? They got so excited, so unbelievably amped up on the possibility of raping us, burning us, torturing us, literally, they were so excited that they couldn't control.
They couldn't resist the temptation.
Yeah, they couldn't control themselves. They could have actually on October 7th, they entered so deep into Israel that they could have actually go to military bases and make some damage. But they chose not to, because they were just not like animals. They didn't kill to eat. They killed for pleasure. They enjoyed it so much. So when you say that nobody else except your unit, that are all volunteers essentially, wanted to deal with these people, it's because we're dealing with people that chose to burn families alive, chose to behead babies, chose to do those actions. So yeah, they're despicable. And then you have people like you that gave already so much to Israel, that had to deal with them, and then on top of that, you're getting betrayed by essentially by your own country. So this is just unbelievable to me.
That's awful. That's more than a stab in the back. But we are here to empower you and to bring your story, the real story of what happened there, and your voice outside, that the world can hear the full picture. And Be'ezrat Hashem, I hope that we will be able to put some more light on this very, very shameful event on the IDF, actually.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you think the people that are watching us should know? Hopefully we kind of gave you the platform to kind of say, everything that it is to say at this point, but is there anything you want to add just for the people that are watching us?
Something international?
International, national.
You have now the mic, you have now the stage,
Yeah,
and
you have the stage.
You can say your message in a clear way.
First of all, people have to understand, again, the one that support us, of course. These soldiers are doing holy work, what they're doing over there. And this soldier, again, volunteered to do this job that no one wants to do. The unit is still running, still operating, of course. Nobody closed the unit. If something very bad like that happened, you will close it immediately, by the way. Kick everybody out, they will close it. The unit is still up, is still running, still doing the same routine, the same things every day. Look at this terrorists. Now it's a little bit less terrorists because they gave everybody, most of them, back after the deals and everything. But what they did, the attorney general, the military attorney general, and this guy from the news, they did not only this damage, but they hurt all the Jews all over the world. they really hurt the Jews because our enemies are using this fake
It's a blood label.
bullshit thing to blame us and to put the IDF soldier as rapists. This is what they say in all these mosques and all this gathering that they have. And in the end, we are in Israel. We can be safe over here. We know how to protect ourselves. We know what to do if something's going to attack us again. This time we're going to be prepared. All the communities, we worried about them, really. We're really worried about them. And this fake trial, this fake video, everything, it's only hurting the Jewish people, not only Israel. Israel can deal with everything, by the way, I think. Can deal with all our enemies, even in diplomacy and Hasbara, even if they don't do that. But the Jewish in the diaspora, they are... I don't want to be a Jew outside of Israel now because of all these things that this Attorney General did and the news channel did. And they just pumping it all the time, and they don't. And we're very betrayed, by the way, not only with the system, but the media. Non-media beside Channel 14 and Channel 11, only Ayala Hassan. No one is willing to talk with us. They're afraid. I'm telling you the truth. I can show you text messages that I send them. This is me. I'm the chief instructor. I'm willing to talk now. Bring me on your show, but live show. I don't want to do nothing live because I know what you guys are doing. Live, I can confront everything. Nobody want to do that. They are very afraid. They know they did a mistake. All the people all over the world have to know that these people made a big mistake. They cannot confront now with this mistake because everything is blown up.
And it's such a shame because, once they hurt you, they hurt all of us. And not only all of us, them, I'm talking about the reporter from Channel 12 and the DA of the army, they hurt themselves as well.
They hurt themselves, and
them and their families and their friends who serve in the IDF.
100%. And
exactly.
And for what? For what? To serve, I suspect, outside agendas, not the interest of their people, of our people.
I was never, when I put the uniform on, politics is back home. You don't have politics inside the military. And when they did it, you see all the politics going inside the military. And it's very, again, they put the stamp on them that are very right-wing activists that kill Arabs every day. It's not true.
But that's the thing. Those are the same people. And, I treat people as individuals, but those channels at the end of the day, the channels that didn't want you to come, those are the same channels that will blame the government for Hasbara mistakes and will say that we're not putting enough, good people in the front to talk about Israel and how we suck at Hasbara, but then also popularize and take things like this, like you guys, and just blast you, those are the things that hurts us the most. We don't need any official Hasbara task force. We're not Qatar. We don't need none of that. Those are never translating to be authentic. We need people like us to do what we're doing. But those are the channels that are actually hurting when they're saying things that are, before they were even proven to be correct. Those were the talking points we had to combat for the past.
True.
But the guy that got hurt the most is these 5 guys. One of them had a heart attack. He was in the hospital for 1.5 months. He had seizures and everything. One of them got divorced. One of them was treated by psychologists and shrinks. Very, very damaged, really, since that case. Other one, the kids in the school, they call us kids. They say, your dad is a rapist, no? School. So these guys are very, I don't know when they will come back to themselves. It's going to take time, but they hurt them really, really bad. Their life is not going to be the same anymore. They cannot go to outside of Israel, of course, and all with the mask and everything. Everybody's looking for us, by the way. I can put the mask off, it's okay, but I have a family, that's the only reason. But when I go abroad, I will tell everybody I'm the first 100 and they can deal with me. I'm not afraid to do what I want, to say what I want. I don't give ammunition now, but when the time comes, I will confront them. I'm willing to confront.
Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to really hear everything from your perspective. Obviously, I can speak for both of us when I say we believe you 1,000,000%. We see it as our job to really amplify your voices, because it was not really, no one was really talking about your
Side of the
things.
story is very, very important because, even though our enemies are in the billions and we are only 50 million Jews, and among the 50 million, not everybody obviously are fighting with us, in
Exactly.
unity. It's important to amplify the story, the big story, and the truth of those that were there, those that know what happened from there. And Be'ezrat Hashem, may the truth come out, and this thing will be solved, and the allegation will be
Completely dropped.
Be'ezrat
Inshallah.
Hashem.
Completely dropped. Be'ezrat Hashem.
Amen.
Amen.
תודה רבה.
תודה.
ג'